Hi everybody, I'm Aita Ighodaro and welcome to my channel. I quite often talk about the theoretical aspects of investing or collecting art, but it's sometimes easier to understand from a practical lens. So here goes. I'm going to look inside my collection and I'm going to talk you through a case study of the process of buying and subsequently selling a particular work. If you find this sort of thing interesting, I'd be very happy to do a series of case studies on different works at multiple different price points. So today I'll start with what I think is an entry level price point to start at when investing in art. So to put that into context, it's the same price as a designer handbag, an entry level designer handbag, or entry level luxury watch. This particular artwork I'm going to talk about today was purchased about 4.5 years ago and was by a very dynamic up-and-coming artist called Balaji. I actually bought this artwork with a friend who wanted to make his first significant art investment but didn't want to quite take the plunge on his own. So I said I'd go in with him, and it became a really fun journey as we watched the artist's career grow together. And buying together with a friend is actually sometimes a really nice thing to do if you don't quite have the funds to purchase on your own, but want to be able to access a better quality work that has more potential than having to halve your budget and go for a cheaper work which might not have as much future potential. So we bought this particular artwork from a dealer in London called Taffet, and we bought it for a number of reasons. One of which was that we absolutely loved it. We also asked around, we did some research about the artist. We saw that he had great representation in Switzerland, had done some really exciting shows in England and in Switzerland, both important art markets. He also, I believe, was already in some well-known collections, though not strictly art establishment collections, were interesting culturally. For example, he was in the Soho House collection. Crucially, his prices at that time were still relatively affordable. For me, this purchase was particularly important also from a financial performance point of view, because I typically don't buy to sell quickly. I typically buy to grow my collection. And I'm building a collection of works by artists that I really like. But buying with a friend, I had an additional incentive to try and make sure that this was also an excellent financial investment for the sake of the friendship, if nothing else. After following the artist's slow but steady growth, which is sometimes the more enduring growth, we started to notice that where he came up at auction, prices were getting to around 3 or 4 times the price at which we had bought that artist's work, and these were comparable works. At this point, my pal had also decided to move house and was looking to release money to buy artworks to fit his new space. Reluctantly, because I did love having the work on my wall, I had it in my house. We decided that this was probably a good time to sell the work. We chose to sell the work at Sotheby's and were delighted at the price we achieved at auction. It was initially a very slow auction. It was an online auction. It was only at the very last couple of minutes that that a bidding war occurred. And often that's the case, actually. It'll be at the very end if there's a bidding war. And the work ultimately achieved a hammer price of 3.5 times what we paid for the work initially. So that was an excellent outcome. And I will say that whoever purchased the work, I think, has done very well and has got a very good investment. I think that Balaji's work will continue to rise. He's a very talented and dynamic artist. But for my friend and I, it was time for us to part with the work. It was the right time. And at this point, before I quickly sum up what our key takeaways were from that experience, I'd love to kindly ask you to like and subscribe if you have found this interesting. So, key takeaways. One thing that I thought was important for a first art investment for my friend was that we invested enough money for it to be meaningful, for there to be a meaningful upside, but we were not reckless. So by that I meant we spent only what we sort of could easily save and afford to spend at the time. Secondly, when buying with someone else, it is of course important to be aligned in your vision for the future of the artwork and how long you intend to be guardians, custodians of that particular work. We were luckily very aligned, and we made the decision that I would ultimately decide when probable suggest when to sell the work, primarily because I had the greater knowledge of the art market. Third, it was a shared heart and head decision. Sure, we love the work, but we did our research. We felt that the network around the artist, the galleries, the exhibitions he was in, the other collectors, was robust and supportive. And he was a dynamic, exciting artist who would very likely continue to grow. Thank you so much for listening, watching this. It's been really fun, really great chatting with you, and I look forward till the next time. Thank you so much.